Dave Johnson here, introducing the consumer version of our most popular military-grade product.
Hello.
Some of my greatest gaming memories, certainly some of my oldest gaming memories are local co-op memories. This game really did smash it 12 years ago, and it was going to go on Couch Co-op Classics, but after playing it over these last couple of weeks and just getting that refresh, it still deserves to be well at the top and compete with any current gen split-screen puzzler.
Desert,
Different.
table, evening at the Improv. What idiot picked me?
The Aperture Industries, the sort of lore around that, the cake, the voiceover, Stephen Merchant involved in the co-op campaign, so let's break that down. There's quite a few different modes of this game, one of them being online co-op, the second one being split-screen local co-op, then you have like a campaign, which is your own thing, completely offline. So there's two different modes for co-op. Notice the wonderful horizontal and vertical split options. Let's have a very quick look at the single player.
To help you remain tranquil in the face of almost certain death, smooth jazz will be deployed in 3, 2, 1.
It's still looking very good. Don't ask me about those frame rates. There's no VSync, so we're 200 plus for the time being. The bad news comes in the form of this game not being available on the PlayStation 4 full stop. So you can't put your PlayStation 3 disc in your 4 machine, and you can't go on the PlayStation 3 store and download it onto your 4. There's no real Sony representation on that front, unfortunately, on current gen systems. However, there is a Switch version. I picked up this version of Steam for a goddamn £1, and it is available on the Xbox. Some of the ancients among you might remember the orange box. That featured Portal 1, which was actually quite a good game, well worth looking at, and Team Fortress, of course, and those Half-Life episodes. That's a hell of a disc, to be fair, and if you own that physical, keep hold of the damn thing. Just looking at these character models, not too bad. You can see a 720 sort of resolution in there. That's to be forgiven for a split like this. It totally runs at 200 frames a second. What I mean is there is no dip. This is a lovely pegged version of the game. Forgot about that cool hub with all those sort of staggered entries a la Mario 3. You have to open up different doors to get to better levels. Don't go down the slope. It's nothing short of extended suicide in there. Absolute nightmare material. We thought it was like a level 1. That's over on the left hand side, so it was a bit of a baptism of fire.
We need to find the power station at the end of this course.
Why was Portal 2 so popular, and Portal 1 essentially? Well, get this. They were Half-Life mods made in their Source engine. And the guy came up with this brilliant idea of making a sort of two-way point with your gun. So you could go in one, come out the other. This opened up the doors to massive puzzles. And the first one sort of experimented with double jumping and various different universes that you fall in and out of. But this one took it to a whole new level, really injecting some amazing intuition and huge puzzle areas, massive factories, a backstory, and the cool, skinny and little squatted characters were very lovable. I think also this is one of the more perfect couples games, giving each player a decision-making process and having some excitement with the turrets and pits of electrical water, but also just working out with each other what the best way is to move forward, and the solutions are spread over two players equally, and you also get the chance to see through the other player's eyes if they wander off and have to do a separate task. You are not wanting for any variety with the puzzle types. They always keep you guessing every time you go through one of those doors. Confession time, for me, I find it so hard. I get so confused with which door's going in where and why that door is blocked and where my other portal is, and the smallest puzzle just stumps me for hours, so I need someone with a brain on board to actually get me through the early levels.
You know, in some human sports, the winner is the one who scores the fewest possible points.
The trolling from Cake Lady's pretty amazing as well, and they are quite area targeted. You'll fall down a big gap, she'll tell you where the switch may or may not have been, and you do something really daft and like easily avoided, and she will mock you. It's very funny, and it pulls you together as teammates because you do not want this woman to win. I do want to say, Gabe, Valve, what the hell are you lot doing? Where is Left 4 Dead 3? I know you've sacked all the team or they've moved on, but why didn't you sequel this? Portal 3 with 4 players split. You could have had a rip-roaring time with current gen. It may still be on the cards. And of course Half-Life 3. I think I'll be dead in the ground by the time that goddamn game comes out. That's alright, Gabe. You work on a VR version of Half-Life Alyx that no one can afford to play, and maybe I'll get to in 2077. This would make a very good VR games, thinking about it now. When I'm playing it, I'm thinking, what's as good as this? And like Human Fall Flat doesn't even come close to the depth of complication on a lot of these puzzles. Then I'm thinking maybe something like The Witness, but that is not two-player split screen. It is the best puzzle-based sci-fi split screen game available on the market, full stop. That's kind of why I've done this video. You might have just completely forgotten about it, and you, like me, completely forgot that you owned it. Firing it up in 2023, even that UI, the intros, the voiceovers, the graphics, the way it runs, the split, everything just says present day. It's totally awesome how this game has not aged at all. Are there any online-only DRM requirements for this game? Absolutely none whatsoever. There are some cosmetics that look to be locked behind having this game online, but I fired it up completely offline, off Steam, no issues, and integrating keyboard and pad. You don't need two pads even. Is definitely the way forward. I think couch co-op on PCs is kind of getting a bit stronger. There is one thing shielded from the local co-opper. You do have a unique campaign, remember, but there's this challenge mode which is only online, and it's like speed runs against each other, and you do all manner of muck-ups. It would be so good to have a sort of PvP mode, a race mode even, like Sonic Mania, where you're getting to the end of a puzzle before the other one. You can always see where they're up to. Maybe I'm not looking deep enough.
The electrical switch was down there.
Where is the best place to play this? Well, without being biased, on Steam. I don't know if that was just a good month that I picked it up for £1, but I couldn't believe it. I'm not too sure what it's going to retail at on Xbox. I certainly didn't see it on Game Pass. That's something that Valve really do avoid. So you may have to fork out some money for it, but it needs to be in your local co-op collection. It probably is, to be fair. Talking of old school local co-op games, I'm currently downloading Diablo 3, that Reaper edition, still own it on physical, and I want to hold it up against Diablo 4. I'm hearing some really bad things about the only 2-player local co-op that's available, no 4-player, and it being a bit server iffy. So I want to hold it up directly against 3 and see if they really have made 70 quid's worth of improvement.
At this rate, our best hope is for the fuel cell to melt down in 2 million years, and hope the explosion powers the system.
I have, of course, been Couch Coop. Check out the top 25 and check out Couch Co-op Classics. I will see you all down there.
So you can protect the things that matter most.
Good night.
Just try and get close to that baby. Your funeral. Cave Johnson, we're done here.